Welcome back to another episode of Dynamics Chatter, where we do a little eXtreme365 preview. That's right, we're gonna be in Austin, December 3rd through the 6th, and we're gonna try to convince you to bring two worlds together. See, people, I can functionally teach you inventory, I can functionally implement D365 without Power BI, but the real question is why would you want to? They're better together. Give you a little preview of what's gonna be in our session. We're going to kind of go through a set of transactions where we create a PO. We're going to do a receipt for the PO. We're going to scrap some of that. We're then going to invoice it. We're going to do a month-end close, but then we're going to use Power BI to show you how this works better together, okay? And really understand functionally how this works. It's more than graphs. It's more than just KPIs. Okay, so the old way I could do this is I could go to my inventory value report, and we will walk through the data sources, and I could run this for the detail and see the same thing here, okay? Kind of the old school way to look at it, okay? But there's a better way, okay? And this is what we're gonna look at, okay? But you gotta walk before you run. So if you go into my Power BI model here, okay? And I filter down for the same parameters, 2018, USMF, and the same item group, okay? You can see the same transactions, a little faster, a little quicker, okay? We're also gonna extend this out and show you what you can do in Power BI that you could never do in D365, okay? Which is, I'm gonna go ahead and add a few more data sources here, okay? So I added the purchase order header, sales order header, the vendor and the customer master. I'm gonna show you, we're gonna connect these up. I'm gonna show you how. I'm gonna give you this model, okay? I'm gonna give you 3 different Power BI desktop models, all related to inventory. But now what I can do, now that I have this and it's connected to the source document, I can bring in the vendor number and the vendor name, okay? So not only can I can actually see what the vendor was for all the purchases, okay? You'll notice the other ones are scrap journals. They don't have a vendor, all right? But what more can I do? Okay, so now I'm gonna change this up because this is about more than just inventory. It's about understanding the most important transaction in all of D365. I'm going to show you how, now what I'm going to do is we're just looking at purchases and sales, okay, which is what my customer master and vendor master are related to. But now I'm going to build a little heat map to show cost of goods sold for all the stocked items that I sent out, okay, by customer. And I can look at it in the zip code. So when I slice the heat map below, okay, it's going to slice the grid. But again, you got to walk before you run. You can't do any of this until you understand the basic principle, okay? And I can look at it by this one item that I sell and see where I'm selling it at. And what the quantity and the amount is of those goods. But again, you don't get to do that until you understand this core principle, okay? Which is being able to tie this back to the inventory value, the inventory transactions, and the on-hand grid, okay? We're gonna map the functional to the technical and show why they're better together. And again, I can implement these, I can implement D365 functionally. I can teach you inventory. I can do all this without Power BI, but really the key thing is, why would I want to? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. You're listening to Dynamics Chat.